Hello everyone, welcome to New Oceanside, my Build a City Challenge hood in The Sims 2. Today we are working on a massive farm estate owned by founding family, the Goodacres. This video is part 1 where I'm building and decorating all of the exterior of the farm, including the barn, the garden area, and the landscaping. Let's go! The Goodacre farm estate is built on a 50 by 50 lot and is situated on what I am calling the manor houses side of the hood. The river that flows through the middle of the neighborhood separates the larger estates and the smaller farms and businesses. All of the founding families and Volcano Island royalty live on the estate side, while the smaller farms and the businesses will be on the other side. So far, this lot is the biggest lot that I've ever built in The Sims 2. I believe the biggest you can go lot size-wise is 60 by 60, and I think you need to use a mod like Lot Adjuster in order to achieve that size. I usually only build on smaller lots. 40 by 40 is the largest I would ever build on before because of the fear of pink flashing and or the game crashing. But like I mentioned in my last video, I now have Sims 2 set up on the Linux operating system, which is supposed to help with those problems. So I'm using this lot as kind of a stress test. After building and decorating the exterior with all the custom content on it, it's running really well, so we'll see if it's playable once I finish the interior. Wanting to build these large lots is the reason I decided to install The Sims 2 on Linux in the first place, because I knew the game on Windows wouldn't handle it as well. It's one of the reasons why I stopped building in my Super Mega Uber hood. The lots had a lot of custom content and were pretty much unplayable because of the pinkness, and it really just made me want to quit playing altogether. Hopefully, if the new operating system holds up, I can go back to the Super Mega Uber hood and build and make more videos and everything like that. So as a small test after I finished the exterior, I placed it in my Sims 2 Windows folder. I let the game play for a while, and after about 2 sim hours or so, I got the pink flashing and then it immediately crashed. I didn't even get a chance to take a screenshot of it or anything like that. However, on the Linux side, I unpaused the game and let it play until 6 p.m. sim time, and I didn't have any problems at all. I'm still testing everything out, but so far Linux is working fine for me. At least The Sims 2 is working fine for me. There are some programs that I can't get to work at all. They seem to install, but I can't open the program. But I just need to do some more research and figure out how to get them to work. And if you notice that my video looks a little lighter, it's not because of G-Shade or Reshade or anything like that. I could not get those programs to work in Linux. I tried for weeks and it still didn't install correctly, so I just gave up. So instead, I'm using a filter that I made in Premiere Pro just to get the effect of G-Shade. I kind of think I wouldn't want to have G-Shade in my game while I'm playing or building. I like the option of adding the filter in post-production or not adding it. Let me know what you guys think, if you like the filter on the video or not. I like it. I think it makes it look a little cozy. Another issue I'm having is that I have a graphical wave when I'm in the game or watching a video that I don't have on the Windows side. I'm hoping it doesn't show up on this video, but I won't know until after I process the video and upload it. So let me know if you see some weird graphic glitches in the videos. The Goodacres are one of the founding families of Oceanside. Originally, they were the only farmers in the hood, and their job was to feed all of the other families. They own the Goodacres grocery store, which I built in a previous video. The family consists of Owen and Becca, 2 married family Sims, their 7 kids, a dog named Clementine, and various chickens, pigs, and cows. Becca is currently pregnant with twins, which helps to achieve both her and Owen's locked-in wants of having 10 kids. The Goodacres are the biggest family in the hood, so I knew I had to build them a huge farmhouse with a lot of room for the kids to run around and enough space to grow their crops and house all their livestock. I originally made them as family Sims because I wanted them to have a lot of children so they can work the farm. But I was thinking like 5 kids or so. And then after every childbirth, they both would roll the wants to have 10 children. So I got fed up and I just said, fine, I'll give you 10 children. And I want you to know that they are the most miserable Sims in the whole hood. Owen has a breakdown every other day. Becca starved to death during her second pregnancy, and Owen had to save her from Grim. Their wants are ridiculous, and they never get fulfilled because they have to take care of babies and work the farm all the time. I always laugh at family Sims because they want to have all these children, but they don't want to take care of them. So when Becca died and Owen saved her from the Grim Reaper, that opened the priest career in my hood. Again, I have the rules for the Build a City Challenge on my website, which is darkestdawn.net. In my headcanon, since Grim is an agent of the Watcher and Owen saw Grim and spoke to Grim, and Becca and her unborn child went to the world of the dead, which I just call it the Nether, that all means that they believe in the Watcher, and so they became religious. So Becca became a priest and she opened up a church and so on and so on. In the new hood, New Oceanside, I gave the church and the priest career to the Order of the Grey Woman so Becca could concentrate on farming and raising all of her babies. But the Goodacres are still major members of the church and big contributors to the church. Owen is best friends with Malcolm Landgrab X, who is the mayor of New Oceanside, and they go off and do goofy stuff together all the time. Becca, however, doesn't really have any friends, which is very sad for her. All of her friends are her children. The rest of the founder women don't really like her for whatever reason, so one of my goals is to get Becca to have some friends. Their oldest child, Eve, aged up to a child last spring, so now she can help out with her siblings and do chores on the farm. Eve was the first child born in my BACC, so I have a soft spot for her. Eve is very well liked by all the child-age kids in the hood, and she's doing really well at the elementary school. Besides having so many kids, the Goodacres are amongst the least drama-filled Sims in the whole hood, so it's actually really nice to play them. You just kind of have to lock in and make sure no one dies of hunger or anything, and the chores get done. Their farmhouse is kind of modeled after a Tudor-style house. Again, like I've been saying in my previous videos, I'm kind of coming up with my own cottagecore, fantasy, English country style for this hood. The style of this house reminds me more of Fantasyland and Disneyland, kind of like the Snow White ride type of vibe. Even though I would love all the homes in New Oceanside to be like beige castles, I really wanted to try to do something a little different with the Goodacres house. At first I thought it was starting to look more like an inn or something like that, but I kept messing around with it and eventually I started to like it. This build is not entirely built from scratch. I followed the floor plan from a build on Mod the Sims by Kill Press. That build was based on South Fork Ranch from the Dallas TV show from the 80s. I changed it up quite a bit on the exterior because, again, I was trying to make it look more English country than Texas ranch. The funny thing is that before I changed terrains, I was going to recreate South Fork Ranch for the Goodacres anyway, because I made them more into an American cowboy aesthetic. And when I think of the show Dallas, I think of wealthy cowboys. So I just took the original idea and made it work for the new hood. I have a Pinterest and I'll try to build it up better so that it's easier to find the links about the things that I talk about in my videos. I try to link as much as I can in the video description, but I realize there may be other CC and mods that I leave out in the videos that you guys might be looking for. My issue with Pinterest right now is that most of the links or some of the links to the downloads will just mysteriously disappear even though the download page is still there. Like, the image will still be in my Pinterest, but you can't click on it to get to the link to the page anymore, to the download page, where you used to be able to. So I could add the CC links to my site, but the photos of the downloads won't be there. I know it's sometimes frustrating to find the custom content for The Sims 2, especially the older custom content, but I'll try my best to help you guys out. You guys can always ask me, hey, what's this thing that you have here and here? And I'll try to find it for you. Just shoot me a message. I also wanted to say that I get a lot of questions about putting lots and hoods up for download, and I just want to let you know that I'm not going to be doing that. My lots and hoods have a lot of CC, a lot of custom content and mods, and though they may work for me and my setup, they may not work for your setup. And especially now where there's the two different versions of Sims 2, you have the Legacy Collection and then you have the Ultimate Collection. All the mods that I have and the CC I have might not work correctly in your game. I always recommend downloading CC-free lots whenever possible. There are a lot of people who make CC-free lots or CC Lite lots, and I'll put a list of them here. These are the creators that I can think of from the top of my head, but there are many, many more. I just don't feel comfortable sharing these lots with CC from various different creators. I didn't make this custom content, so I don't think I should be the one sharing it. A lot of times the custom content gets updated and I may not have the updated version and the older version could crash your game or something. So I hope you guys understand my feelings on this. I do try to show you how to make these builds on your own. I have floor plan views on my website and my Tumblr, and hopefully that helps you to recreate the lots so you can build them on your own. And I will tell you a little story time that really makes me not want to share CC filled lots. So I downloaded a lot years ago and it was a normal lot, like, I don't know, a house or a nightclub or something like that. And I thought I took out all the CC that came with it before I transported it in my game. I used the clean installer. And then years later, so as you guys know, I didn't used to actually play the game. I would just build stuff and make Sims. So when I actually started my BACC and I started to play the game, when my Sims would get pregnant and go on maternity leave, I would get this pop-up that said something like, "You're on maternity leave. I hope the stretch marks and saggy boobs are worth it." And I was like, okay, this is foul. Why is my game telling me this? Why would the Sims team ever put this in the game? And then I posted a picture and I posted a pic and people were like, "I've never gotten this pop-up before. This is not vanilla gameplay." So I dug around in my downloads, but I never found the mod that caused it. And then when I had to reinstall my game, I didn't just drop my old downloads folder into it. I built a new downloads folder and I just re-downloaded everything that I wanted in the game. And I didn't add any of the downloaded lots that I had previously downloaded. And then I never saw that pop up again. So I have no idea where it came from or which mod it was or who made it. But I know I got it from a lot that I downloaded. So anyways, that was my long story, but I just don't want anything weird like that to happen to you guys. But, everybody says use the clean installer if you can when you download a lot, and you shouldn't have any problems. For the garden area and the tree farm, I'm only using Max's Made plants and trees. My rules for the BACC are heavily based on hobby enthusiasm to unlock certain things. I found that some of the CC crops do not raise nature enthusiasm or hobby enthusiasm at all. And since these are the crops and trees I started the Goodacres off on, I'm going to keep the same Max's crops and trees. In the barn, I'm using animals from Sun and Moon Factory, specifically the Barnyard Bash download. With this mod and custom content, you can raise animals, breed them, collect their eggs, milk, whatever, and use them for food points in refrigerators. And then there are other downloads from Sun and Moon that you can use these products to craft various different items. The manure that you get from the animals can be used as fertilizer on your crops, and then you can also butcher your animals for some food points or use the meat for other crafting stations, again from Sun and Moon. Some of these items I showcased in the grocery store build. For the Goodacres farm, I'm only using the chickens, the cows, and the pigs. I figured they would only have the livestock that they would be able to sell at the grocery store. Other farmers in the hood will make use of the other animals in the mod, such as the goats and the horses, etc. The fun thing about these animals is that they can be stolen by your neighbors. So you want to make sure that you have them in a locked area that not everybody can get into. They can also die of disease, and you need to make sure that they have food and water. They're not animated, they don't move per se, but they will change from one static pose to another every so often. In the space between the barn and the back of the house, I put Clementine's doghouse and the infamous water tank that is also a hot tub. There's been too many Sims who have come over and polluted the Goodacre's water supply. I added a big pretty tree and a tire swing for the kiddos. I wanted to add a pool somewhere in the lot, mainly because Eve's one true hobby is fitness, but I ran out of room on the lot. So for now, she'll just have to be happy skipping rope around the farm. I might eventually add more pets, maybe a cat or another dog. I feel like a farm should have a lot of animals running around it. And that's about it for part 1 of the video, guys. I will get back to work on decorating the interior of the Goodacres farm after spring break, so please be on the lookout for that video in a little while. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see more detailed photos of the build, please check out my website or my Tumblr linked below. See you in the next one. Later.
Blue sheet. Whoa.